Hey everybody, So Wookie here. In this video, we're going to be going over the Pubg update 11.1 patch notes, all the new features that are coming to the game, when we can expect to get this update, and much more. Hopefully you find this video useful. If you do, like and subscribe to see more. Update 11.1 is now available on the PC test servers, which means they'll be getting the update on the live servers after the maintenance is completed on the 31st, and then for us guys over on console, we'll be getting it on the update after the live servers on the 8th of April. So not too long to wait now, about 2 weeks for console and 1 week for PC. Drop back into the highlands of Paramo and updated terrain with new game modes available. While there, you can try the latest weapon balance updates that include damage increases for the Mini 14, VSS and SCAR-L. You can now work on the 10 new mastery medals added to bring up your revamped Pubg ID. On larger maps, deploy the new emergency pickup to grab a quick transport over to the safe zone for you and your squad. 11.1 also features kill feed updates, new ways to find and add friends, a match log and more. So we'll jump into all this in more detail now. So the first thing we get reminded of is the Season 10 ranked rewards, what the options are and what the rewards are for the certain tiers. And they're as follows. So you get a ranked emblem, providing you've done your 5 qualification matches, and that's a unique emblem per tier from bronze all the way up to master and top 500. Then the rank 10 parachute skin is given to all players ranked diamond and above, and then the rank 10 Mirado skin is earned by all players gold and above. So that's some pretty good rewards. I personally myself managed to work my way up to diamond this season, so I'm pretty looking forward to getting that parachute skin, which is nice. And then they talk about Season 11 ranked beginning. So starting from Season 11, ranked seasons will run for 2 months at a time. Seasons beginning and end dates no longer align with that of the survivor passes. Due to the change in season duration, adjustments have been made to the ranked reward table. Players use ranked emblem rewards a lot, especially at higher ranks, and we found most players tend to use the emblem from the most recent season, rather than older seasons. So to better emphasise and represent your recent ranked achievements, ranked emblems and similar symbiotic rewards will only be available to use for the season in which you received the rewards. Ranked skin rewards are permanent items and you can use them forever. So basically what it's saying is the emblems and the nameplates that you get, you're only going to be able to use them for the season that you got the reward, and that way when it's displayed to someone when you kill them, they can see your most recent ranked accomplishments, not one from like 5 seasons ago, because it's very confusing. Because they've been doing it a while, nobody really knows what the emblems mean and what season they're from. So that's a nice little quality of life, make it a bit simpler, really. Next, they've got some ranked reward changes for Season 11. So, ranked parachute skins are provided from gold and above now, which was previously diamond. Vehicle skins are no longer a rank reward, which is a little bit disappointing because I quite like the vehicle skins that you get. Animated emblems are now provided from platinum and above, which is really cool. And master and top 500 will also receive a nameplate and an emblem. And here we can see the ranked reward table for Season 11. So you see, bronze just gets an ID emblem, silver the same, and then when you get to gold you get the ID emblem plus the parachute. When you get to platinum you get the animated emblem plus the parachute. Same for diamond, but the diamond emblem. And then when you get to master you get the nameplate plus the emblem plus the skin. And then for the top 500 you get a bonus reward for top 500 plus the animated emblem for the top as well. It also just reminds as well that ranked rewards will be available in your inventory as soon as Season 11 hits the servers. Next, they're making some balance changes to Season 11 ranks. So, spawn rates for all weapons in ranked mode will be increased to a similar level as esports mode. On all maps, we have increased the amount of item spawns by 30 to 40% to reduce time spent looting. There are no additional changes to items or vehicle spawn rates. So I mean, this is pretty crazy because I always thought there was plenty of loot in ranked. A lot of the time you land on your first build and you come out with 2 guns, and then you're just really searching for attachments and meds and a few bits and bobs. So if they're increasing it by 30 to 40%, there's going to be weapons everywhere, which is going to be really good because then you're going to be able to spend more time focusing on getting a good position in the ring and doing tactics like that, opposed to, damn, I've still not got a DMR kind of thing, which is going to be good. Next up, they go over the return of Paramo, which is a really cool map, and you know, I'm glad that it's coming back. So some changes that have been made to Paramo The terrain on Paramo still has its random elements, but it's now got an extra randomised location, which is pretty cool. Increased item spawn rates in the secret room and care package helicopter. Improved terrain and additional cover in fields. So some of those barren fields, especially near the lava fields, were like basically devoid of cover except from the occasional rock. They've added a lot more there, which is good. Normal matches are still up to 64 players, and that it will allow bots now, whereas previously it was players only. So it's just in the normal matchmaking pool. It's in third perspective and FPP in solo, duo and squad, so you can experience it in all different aspects. Whereas I think the first time it was in the game, it was like squads only. It never counted towards stats or anything, whereas now it will. And also it's been added to custom matches as well, which is pretty cool. Next, they go over the map service plans. So they say, last year the team focused on releasing several smaller sized maps with unique features, from Karakin and its building destruction, to Paramo and its partially randomised terrain, to the urban streets of Haven along with its PvPvE element. We love making and interesting maps for you to play, but all these new maps don't make matchmaking and map rotation a pretty difficult task. To try and keep balance between map choice and matchmaking times, we'll be limiting the number of playable maps to 5, starting with update 11.1. We know that our players have very different tastes when it comes to map size, but the consensus has generally been in favour of larger 8x8 maps. Because of this, Arangal and Miramar will always be playable with the remaining map cycling in and out of the remaining 3 slots. Cycling out maps also gives us the opportunity to work on them a bit for when they make the return. For update 11.1, Paramo will be replacing Karakin in the rotation. Paramo has been a fan favourite since it dropped, and many of you have been asking for it back. We've added in more options for game modes and fine-tuned a few other things. Added an additional random map area each match and made it available in custom games. Karakin will continue to be available in custom games. Okay. And then the next thing to go over is the new weapon balancing. So the first couple, so the Mini 14 has increased damage by +1 from 46 to 47. So hopefully this is going to make it, I mean I already thought the Mini 14 was very competitive anyway, just because it's quite easy to control with the 8 scope down to a 6 and you can spray quite quick. So the lack of damaging compared to something like an FLL wasn't as bad, but now it's added increased damage. Landing those slower headshots, especially on like vehicles and such, is going to make quite a big difference, so I'll be interested to see how that plays out. The VSS has increased damage by 2 from 41 to 43. I mean the VSS needed some kind of buff. You hardly ever see people using it anymore unless they're just using it for fun, so hopefully this will make it a bit more competitive. The Scar has increased damage by +1 from 41 to 42. Now for me this is pretty good because I've been using the Scar over the M4 now for a couple of weeks, especially in ranked, for its up close stopping power. So a bit of extra damage there is gonna make it a little bit easier, which is good. The SLR has increased horizontal recoil by 15%. And it's decreased recoil recovery rate from 2.1 to 1.9. So basically a bit of a nerf there on the SLR. And then the barrel has increased horizontal recoil magnitude by 5%, increased horizontal recoil speed from 10 to 11, and it's increased vertical recoil speed by +1 from 15 to 16.5. So again, a nerf on the barrel. So I mean, currently in ranked, you see a lot of people using the barrel as the primary weapon, so I'm wondering if these changes after a couple of weeks, people are going to start diversifying and using some other stuff, which I assume is the idea behind this, so that it's not just everybody's using a barrel, but it'd be interesting nevertheless. The next thing that they go over is the new feature, the emergency pickup, which is pretty awesome, and this is what they have to say about it. When the emergency pickup is deployed, a Fulton balloon is released from its bag. When the balloon is fully inflated and high up in the air, an aeroplane will arrive in 60 seconds. During this time, up to a maximum of 4 players can attach themselves to the Fulton balloon rope. Once the plane arrives, it catches the balloon, hoists up the players, and makes its way towards the centre of the safe zone. At any point during the flight, players can detach themselves and parachute down. When deploying the emergency pickup, make sure the area is clear of obstacles, terrain, buildings, etc. With a clear view of the sky, or it will fail. The emergency pickup cannot be used before the first circle and after the 4th circle, so use it wisely. So this is pretty awesome. I both can't wait to be flying across the sky like this, and also I can't wait for my first kill of shooting somebody who's doing this. It's going to be pretty epic. And they have a couple of things to say about it. So emergency pickup can be used effectively in the following situations: stuck deep in the blue zone or otherwise unable to outrun it, have to cross an open field with little cover when engaging another team, when you or your teammates want to find a safer looting location. Be aware of the following once you're picked up by the plane. Once picked up by the plane, you cannot shoot, so be wary of getting shot, especially from mortar gliders. Players can detach from the rope at any time and deploy the parachute. At an altitude of less than 50 meters, the parachute is unable to be deployed. Oh, so it sounds like you have to manually do the parachute, which is worth knowing. And the camera is locked to third-person perspective during the journey. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to using that. One thing that they do say about it as well is that it's really heavy in the backpack, so you're not going to be wanting to carry one around for ages because you're going to have to sacrifice meds, nades, etc. But say you landed somewhere, say it was Arangal, and you landed at Yasnaya, and the rings at military base, instead of driving and having to risk driving across the bridge or trying to go for the ferry, you could just use the Fulton balloon, fly straight over the bridge, straight over the water, and then just parachute. You could even take up the satellite tower at the top, which would be really cool. So it's going to add quite a lot of tactics, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out. The next thing they've added is a mastery medal update. So they've added 10 new medals. When they go over that, the first set was for getting certain kills and winning in certain situations in the thing, and these ones are for almost doing it. So you're going to get different ones in this one. It's good that they're keeping updating this system, because I mean, like, at a certain point you're going to have earned all the different mastery medals, so they've just added more, which is good. Next, they've updated the Pubg ID, so it gives different data than it used to, more information, and they've also changed the customization of it as well. So now you can display 2 medals on the ID badge as well, opposed to just 1. So a bit more customization there as well, which is nice. Next, they've added a mutual friends feature. So when they've now made it so you can have a maximum of 300 friends on the Pubg list. There's a friend request tab as well, so you know when someone's like added you, whereas before it was a bit confusing. When you block a player, they're blocked for 30 days. You can't unblock them within that time period. And the following feature is no longer supported, and this has been replaced by the previous list. Friend requests can be sent from that list. So a little nice update there to make it a bit clearer. They've also updated the kill feed, so the kill field will now only use graphics, with the text only option no longer being supported. The down button, out, and headshot icons are now separated for improved visibility, so it should make it a little bit easier for you. Next is a new feature called the match log. So if you want to go over the play-by-plays of the match that you just had, it's all in like a timestamp fashion, so you can check out what's happening and go over that if you want to. The esports tab PGIS Champions page is going to get updated with the top 4 teams, along with all the how much money was won, etc. They've changed some notification changes, so during normal matches, a notification now displays when leaving a match, which could impact your reputation score. If you choose to leave before the plane takeoff or after death, your reputation will not be negatively impacted and the notification won't be displayed. They've made some improvements to the store, so new design Gcoin page. Items can be found easily by selecting categories now. Categories without items will be deactivated. Some categories have been renamed and subcategories have been added as well. They've also changed the map ratio in Team Deathmatch as well. So they've slightly reduced the Sandhawk map ratio for Team Deathmatch based on feedback. They've made some performance improvements on the server end, improving the replication process. Optimized level streaming to reduce hitching. Improved unnecessary performance overheads related to reflections and optimized reflection computations inside buildings. Improved care package optimization to reduce server hitches. Increased server performance in relation to red zone. So all just good things that should improve performance overall. Next, we get an overview of the skins that have been added into the store. So the April skins are like a hippie themed ones, and then there's 4 sets available. So there's the Groovy Get Ups bundle, there's the Hip Outfit bundle, the One Love Outfit bundle, and the Groovy Outfit bundle. There's also 2 vehicles, the High Flying Motor Glider and the Hippie Soul Aquarelle, and 2 new emotes, Victory Dance 46 and Victory Dance 47. In terms of weapons, they've added the gold and silver barrel skins to the store as well, and they have a pack to get them together, which is the Fancy Barrel skin. And then there's a whole plethora of bug fixes, which I'll not go through every single one, but I will leave a link in the description of the video. So if you wanted to check out the bug fixes, if you've been experiencing a particularly annoying bug for you, you can go through and check that it's been finished. And that's it. So that's everything that's getting updated in update 11.1. So as you may have noticed, there's been no information on a new Survivor Pass. So I don't know if they're going to release that in a separate update. Because the Survivor Pass, I believe, is going to end a week before the season ends. So, for example, on the console, it ends on we're getting the new update on the 8th. So I think the pass will end on like the 31st, I want to say. So maybe in the next day or so, we'll get information on the next pass, and that'll just start on the 1st of April. Because like they say, the passes are no longer directly tied to the seasons, because the season's 2 months long, but they still might do the pass for 3 months. So it'd be interested to see that, but as soon as we get that information, I'll make a video and let you guys know. And that's it. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, like and subscribe to see more. Wookie out.
A trip back to the highlands of Paramo. A new way to transport your squad to the safe zone. Updates to Metal Mastery and the Pubg ID system. And lots more as Season 11 begins and we dive into the latest Pubg patch report. First up, one of our most popular new maps is returning for a sophomore run. That's right, you can now once again take on the Highlands of Paramo with new ways to play. You now have the option of choosing solos, duos, or squads in both TPP and FPP for Paramo. In addition to more ways to play, we've added another instance of randomization to each game, fixed some terrain issues from the first go-around, upped the secret room and supply helicopter spawn rates, and added the map as an option for custom games. Up next, we're adding a new transport tool that allows you and your squad quick movement across the battlegrounds to the next safe zone. With the emergency pickup item, you call in a plane to grab a cable you deploy via a high-altitude balloon. Once picked up, your squad will be carried towards the safe zone until you decide to drop out and parachute back to the battleground below. This item will allow players more options for where to begin looting, if they find themselves having to go through a particularly spicy area, or simply can't outrun the incoming blue zone. Similar to the flare gun, this device is anything but stealthy, so be warned that anybody near you is going to know what you're up to. The emergency pickup is also pretty heavy, so make sure you plan your bag space accordingly if you plan on carrying one around. We're also improving some of the ways you track and show off the cool things you've done in-game with updates to the Metal Mastery and Pubg ID system. There are now 10 new medals for you to earn through various Battlegrounds achievements that focus on combat situations and survival, or in the case of the So Close medal, almost surviving. Once you've earned your medals, you can now show them off as part of your Pubg ID. You can add up to 2 of your medals to the revamped Pubg ID, along with other ways to make it your own in the Customize tab. Show off your survivor however you like. In addition to the main updates, we're also updating Team Deathmatch map rates to be less send-off focused, making some adjustments to the kill feed icons, adding a log for the kill feed so you can view your previous matches, and more. One last note, seasons are getting a little shorter starting with 11. From now on, we'll be dropping new seasons every 2 months, and Survivor Passes won't necessarily follow these to the letter. As always, you can check out the patch notes for full details on these and other updates this patch. For now, shine up your medals, call in a pickup, and fall in love with Paramo all over again. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.